Welcome to the March 2025 Monthly Relationship Building Hour, sponsored by Connected Couples Counseling, PLLC. Today's presentation will be recorded for future attendees. I ask that you mute yourself now. I will take time to answer any questions you may have at the end. Feel free to add them to the chat as we go. You are welcome to leave your camera on or to turn it off. All right, let's begin. Good afternoon. My name is Dion Miller. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist associate and one of the team members at Connected Couples Counseling. Today, we are going to be talking about rekindling romance. I regularly hear from my clients that they feel their love has gone stale. They lack meaningful connection with their partners and meaningful communication along with it. They feel emotionally disconnected. They are bored. There's unresolved conflict on repeat, leading to resentment for one or both partners. They lack shared interests, and some may even begin to look outside the relationship for companionship. If this is you, I invite you to join us today as we explore rekindling romance. Because the good news is, just because your love has gone stale, it doesn't mean it can't be rekindled. Disclaimer. I want to take a moment and advise you that this workshop is strictly psychoeducational, meaning it was designed to serve as a teaching and guidance for you and is not a replacement for couples therapy. If you wish to pursue counseling, please do not hesitate to reach out to our team at Connected Couples Counseling for more information. As a licensed therapist, my team and I are available for couples counseling for residents in Washington State. Alternatively, we are more than happy to help you locate a couples counselor who is trained in your area. Objectives. Today, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the following. Who is Connected Couples Counseling? Relationships, we're going to look at how relationships change because we know it is inevitable. We're also going to explore why do we lose our spark in the first place? And finally, how do we get it back? First, I'd like to take the minute to introduce the team at Connected Couples Counseling. We are a small group practice providing telehealth therapy for those living in Washington State. Rachel, on the left, is the owner of our practice. She specializes in rewriting attachment dynamics in couples. She is also available for relationship coaching for those not wishing to go on the traditional routes. Megan is our clinical intern, and she is passionate about supporting couples and families. And she has a special place in her heart for single parents. And me, I am our life transitions specialist. And life transitions are frequently at the heart of difficulties with romance rekindling, as we'll talk. All right. Romance. I admit it. I am a hopeless romantic. I love romance. I love love. And yet, as swiftly as it comes off the tongue in a juicy romance novel, a Shakespearean play, or in a movie, romance is elusive and often, far too often, put to the side in our busy day-to-day lives, especially if you've been together with your sweetie pie for more than a few moments. Relationships change. Remember that old mantra, first comes love, then comes marriage, and then comes so-and-so in a baby carriage? If only it were that simple. While some couples follow this traditional trajectory, for many, we do not. We know that fewer couples are getting married, some are having children before marriage, and some are choosing not to have children at all. Every relationship is unique. But one thing that doesn't change is that relationships are constantly changing and evolving. And this changing and evolving often spells doom for relationships. During the first 6 months to 2 years of a relationship, we are in a state of euphoria. During this falling in love stage, we put on blinders to our partner's faults. We might see them, but it doesn't matter. Maybe they leave their dirty dishes in the sink or their sinky socks in the bedroom floor, or even worse, their underwear. But they make you laugh at least once a day. So it's okay. The good things outweigh the negative here. If things are working well, we begin to attach to one another. And that initial crazy in love stage is replaced by early attachment. We aren't foolish enough to believe that our partner is perfect. We see both the good and the not so good, and the bond deepens on a neurological, emotional, and physical level. It is in this next phase that we really begin to face challenges. This is sometimes called the crisis, the drift, or the differentiation stage. It is at this point the couple is faced with a crisis that is often make or break for many relationships. It is at this point where we meet with life transitions like having a new baby, a new job, moving in together, or other demands that remind us that we, in our coupledom, are not an island unto ourselves. You need a crisis to get through to be able to talk about it together so that in the end you can grow and change together or end the relationship. If a crisis couple can overcome the crisis successfully time and again, they begin to move into the next stage, deep attachment. Deep attachment can last a long time. If you're lucky, it can last a lifetime. This stage is the calm after the storm. By this point, the couple knows each other well. They've been through the inevitable ups and the downs. They know that they can deal with crises, and they've likely made a plan to handle future crises. At And at any point in this journey, relationships can feel stale. So why do we lose our spark? I don't believe that most of us choose to lose our spark and the romance begins to dull, but it happens even to the best of us. For some couples, if there was ever a spark, it is lost in the early euphoria stage and they just drift away from each other. Other couples lose their spark in early attachment or during the crisis stage. The most consistent reason? Sometimes life just happens. I know this after 30 years of marriage. I can definitely say that my husband and I have lost a spark or two along the way because, again, sometimes life happens. We stop communicating. We neglect either the physical and or the emotional intimacy that we shared with our partner once. We fall into the routine of being really great roommates. We ignore the proverbial elephant in the room conflict, that conflict that cycles over and over again that we never solve and we never figure out. Does that sound familiar? Which leads us to crap. I think maybe we have lost our spark. Can we recapture it? We can't begin to reignite romance. We can't begin to recapture it until we begin to recognize that our relationship has gone stale and it's lost its spark. It starts with both partners, recognizing that our relationship has changed and the feelings have shifted. And sometimes that's not always for the best. This may require at least one of you to be brave and to reflect and communicate openly with one another the issues and challenges that led to the staleness. It's time for us to truly get curious what each of us needs in this relationship. Sometimes we have to address trust and intimacy issues. Rebuilding trust and intimacy through open communication, quality time, and acts of affection is just the start, which often leads us to needing to seek professional help. Not always, but sometimes. Considering seeking Couples therapy to navigate these challenges can help you and yours rebuild your relationship. The cold truth is love is not enough to keep a marriage or a committed relationship going. It helps, but alone it is not enough. The romantic in me wants you to know that I see couples successfully every day working to reignite their spark. Real relationships take work, they take time, they take nurturing, but a resounding yes, we can recapture the spark and rekindle the romance. Or even better, we can prevent our love from going stale in the first place. There are 5 ways, at least, that we can rekindle romance. 1, we can prioritize intentional time and communication with our partners. 2, we can foster emotional and physical intimacy. 3, we can reconnect through shared experiences. 4, we can manage conflicts constructively. And 5, we can encourage individual growth. Let's take a look at each one of these a little bit more detail. Prioritizing time, quality time, and communications. Check in with one another daily. On the side, I have a whole bunch of different ideas that you might want to use to check in with your partner. What were the highs of your day? What were the lows? How are you feeling right now? What have you carried? What is something you need to get done this week? What can I do to make sure that it gets done and help you? How can I make you feel supported now? How can I make you supported in the future? How can I show up for you differently? All of these questions let you and your partner know that you are seen, that you are heard, that you are truly in the know with one another. Schedule regular date nights. It goes without saying, the kids, the phones, and the work should be left at home. Just enjoy each other and the time you have together. If you need ideas for what you can do for regular date nights, reach out. We post all the time on our social media about different crazy, fun ways that the two of you can spend the day together. Making time for each other, even if it's just a few hours, to reconnect with each other's company. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can look like a picnic on the living room floor, a walk around your local park, or a fun night playing games. The point is to be intentional with one another. Engage in meaningful communication and conversations. Go beyond really being really good roommates. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your dreams, your aspirations, and actively listen to your partner. Put away the distractions. I know for many of us, it's so easy to flip on the TV, pull out our phone, play a round of Candy Crush or whatnot. But the fact is, that parallel play isn't connecting with our partners. Put it away. Take the time to really focus on one another. Let's talk about this, fostering emotional and physical intimacy. Giving and showing your partner affection and caring goes without saying. Expressing that physical affection can be shown through words, gestures, and physical touch. We love holding hands, kissing for 6 seconds, hugging for 20 of those seconds. Being vulnerable and sharing your feelings, opening up to your partner, allowing them to see the real you. Together with your partner, discover the things that turn each one of you on and what turns you off. What are those accelerators and those brakes in your sex drive? And maintain that physical intimacy. Sex is an important part of a healthy, committed relationship. So make sure that it is prioritized, even if that means scheduling it. quick exercise that I love to do with my clients that are exploring concerns of sexual intimacy. And this exercise is called body mapping. In this, I ask my clients to each draw the front and the back of their body. Obviously, you don't have to go this. My bodies usually look like a stick figure. Next, I want you to keep in mind that we use three colors on this body map. Green is go. These are the places you love to be touched. Yellow is caution. Caution can be, I might enjoy it, but we need to talk about it more outside of the bedroom. Or caution might be, it's a place that I have an injury. It's a place that has been that it maybe holds some trauma for me or whatnot. And red is a nope. Red is a, I don't even want to have to say, no, this isn't a place that I consider wanting to be touched. All right, so let's take a look. And here, my little critter loves to be touched on the back. And it was just a green. That place can be touched anywhere at any time. The yellow spots will proceed with caution. Maybe I need to say I like to have my feet touched, but it needs to be a deep touch. And I like to have my breast touched, but I need to give consent first. And finally, red. Maybe red is because this person has had a neck injury and they don't like their neck to be touched. And then once you have mapped your body and your red, yellows, and greens, share that with your partner. Have the conversation. This is a great way to begin to explore how you like to get and how you like to receive intimacy. Have the conversation. And finally, what do you like to hear? Put that next to your ear. Do you like sexy talk? No talking, words of affirmation. What do you like to hear? These are all integral parts of beginning to understand both your accelerators, the things that turn you on, and your brakes, the things that just turn you off. All right, moving on. We also like to reconnect through shared experience. That can look like sharing new things together. This is especially important as you begin life transitions, whether you're experiencing being an empty nester or having a new baby. You know, go on those adventures, take that class, explore a hobby together. You may also want to reminisce about your relationship roots, share the memories, and revisit the places that hold special meaning to you both. And finally, plan a trip together. Get away from it. A vacation can be a great way to reconnect with your partner and create new memories. Managing conflict constructively. Managing conflict requires that we communicate openly and honestly, that we address the problems early and we avoid letting them fester, that we practice active listening, that we pay attention to our partner's perspective and try to understand their feelings, that we call for timeouts when we need, that we forgive each other and don't hold on to grudges that can damage our relationship, that we repair. Because you know what? We are going to goof. We are going to say the wrong thing in the wrong tone. And we need to call ourselves out on it. And we need to honor our relationship with one another with repair. And finally, if needed, we can always seek professional help. A therapist can help you and your partner develop healthy communication and conflict resolution skills. Connected Couples Counseling is available to help residents of Washington State. If you live out of our state and need help, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you find a therapist in your area. Finally, Encourage individual growth. Wait, am I really telling you that in order to rekindle romance, I want to encourage you to grow as individuals? Yes, I am telling you that one of the single best things you can do for your relationship is to continually encourage individual growth for both of you. You and your partner are not two halves of a whole, but rather you are two distinctly different people with different hobbies, values, desires, and dreams. So support each other's goals and aspirations. Encourage your partner to pursue their interests and passions. Take control of your own well being. Prioritize your own needs and interests, as this will help you be a better partner. And remember to have fun. Make time for activities that you both enjoy as individuals and nurture the relationships you have with others. All right. Growth is a lifelong adventure. I know it can seem daunting to reignite the fire that once burned so bright between you and your partner. Life and circumstances can make us feel like we are great roommates at best and strangers at worst. And that's hard, but we pick our heart. We can choose to do nothing. We can choose to end a relationship, or we can light the fire under the routine we have built and perhaps create the best version of our relationship yet. The choice is up to you and your partner. Today, we have talked about some of the ways that we can get personal and sexual intimacy rekindled. If you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. We know how to rekindle romance. Thank you for attending Connected Couples Relationship Building Hour. Please join us in April 2025 when we explore how to create a relationship vision.